Welcome back to Staying Fervent. I'm Tracy, where we encourage you to stay fervent in God. Thank you so much for tuning in today and staying fervent with me. Today, I wanted to share with you that God sees you. Some people think that when they go through terrible turmoil or suffering or challenges, that God is not with them. They don't believe that God sees them, and they don't believe that God is with them. But I wanted to remind you today that nothing could be farther from the truth. God sees us and He cares. He knows about every turmoil, every challenge, everything that we face. God is with us and God sees us and He cares. He's even more involved in the details than we realize. Scripture says that He never leaves us and never forsakes us. We must remember and we must believe that He never does. He never leaves us nor forsakes us. He told the Israelites in the book of Isaiah, He said, "See, I have inscribed you here in the palm of my hands. I cannot forget you." He said, "Your walls are forever before me." So it is with us. When we become the children of God, when we're interceding and loving and praying before God, He sees your pain and everything that you're going through. God is there and God is with us. He doesn't sleep and He definitely don't slumber. I want to encourage you today to choose to believe what God said in His word, to choose to believe what He said. When He said He'd be there, that He is. I was reminded of Joseph in the book of Genesis, who went through terrible turmoil. He was thrown in a dungeon, left for dead, sold off for slavery, put in prison, said he did things that he did not do. But each season that he went through, and each storm that he faced, and each challenge that came up against him, Scripture says over and over, God was with him, God was with him, God was with him, even in the midst of his turmoil. So what are you saying, Tracy? I'm saying that even in the midst of your dark times, even in the midst of your dark seasons, even in the midst of the challenges you face, even that great pain that you think you're in it alone, you're not alone. God sees you and He knows you. God sees you and He cares. Just like He saw Joseph, just like He was with Joseph, He is right there with you. So you mean to tell me that God was with Joseph when he was falsely accused, threw in prison, and God let him stay in prison even though he was innocent? Yes. But why didn't God deliver him? It's not because He can't, and it's not because He's not able. The reason is He's not ready to. See, when God puts us through seasons like this, He's got us marinating in the situation for a reason. See, He's maturing us. He's making us into better versions of ourselves that look like Him. He's molding our character to be more like Him. He's molding in us patience. He's molding in us endurance. He's molding in us faithfulness. He's molding in us maturity, just like He did with Joseph. Through all of those things that Joseph went through, when he finally got out of prison, he was able to use all of those characteristics that was built in him throughout the rest of his lifetime. He was even promoted to be the governor over the nation of Egypt, even in a foreign land. Somebody said, "Will God do it in a foreign land?" Yes, He will. Even among the heathen, He'll set us up on high places if we just keep Him first. See, Joseph remained faithful to God, even in his dark seasons and during the times when he didn't understand. He didn't understand why he was going through. He remained faithful to God. And so that's a word for us. Remain faithful to God. Remain faithful to God in your dark season. Remain faithful to God in that season that you don't understand. Remain faithful to God. Remain faithful to God in your seasons of disappointment. Remain faithful to God in your seasons of great challenges. Remain faithful to God in your seasons of pain. God is doing it for our good. I want to remind you today that your fight is fixed. You shall come forth as pure gold. Just keep your mind stayed on Him. Just keep your heart trusting in the Lord. Just keep embracing His word and let God continue to mold you and make you to be the person that He has called you to be.